Hi, this is Melissa Walker, and I just wanted to visit you guys with a vlog today. So I'm going to go through some questions and I'm going to answer them in this video format instead of typing, because that's what I do all day when I'm writing books. So it's more fun for me to make a video. I hope it's fun for you guys too. The first question is, if you could bring any character from one of your books to life, who would it be and why? You know, my latest book is called Love Struck Summer, and it is the story of an indie rock girl who falls in love with a total country cowboy named Russ. And I think I would bring him to life if I could, because he's really, really great. He's really sweet, he's really cool, and he is sort of maybe inspired by Tim Riggins from Friday Night Lights, if anyone's a fan. So he'd be a good person to have out in the world, I think. So I would bring him to life. Your own 6-word memoir. I love 6-word memoirs. And I'm sort of cheating because this one was published in the latest 6-word memoir book. But my 6-word memoir is writing teen novels, the angst lives. And that's because I just am always going back to my old diaries and remembering how I felt about everything and using that in my books. And I still feel the same way about everything. I still care way too much and feel way too much about things, and I think that's a good thing in general. Sometimes I get a little dramatic, I'll admit. But anyway, that's my 6-word memoir. Twitter your newest or upcoming release in 140 characters or less. Okay, so my latest release was Love Struck Summer. So Love Struck Summer, indie girl meets country cowboy, sparks fly. That's my tweet. When you were young, what did you want to be when you grew up? I always knew I wanted to be a writer. I didn't think I wanted to write books because I thought that would take too long, but I always knew I wanted to be a writer, and I worked on my high school yearbook staff and my college newspaper staff, and I went into magazines, and I just never stopped really enjoying writing and found it astounding that someone would actually pay me to do it, and total dream come true. So I really did always want to be a writer. There was a brief period where I wanted to be a veterinarian, but I hate blood, and so that wasn't going to work out. Using the letters JLW, create the title of your next bestseller. Okay, JLW. Just like wishing. This is fun, but kind of hard. Johnny Loves Wendy. I could do this for a while, but you guys would get bored, so I'll leave it with those. What's your astrological sign? How closely does it match your personality? Okay, I'm a Gemini, and so I was born to communicate, and if you read about Geminis, you'll find out that a lot of them are in communications or writing, so it totally fits with that. And they can have like multiple personalities, which I definitely do in different situations. I can act really differently, and I think that's good because I can fit in a lot of places, but I know some Geminis can get a little two-faced, so hopefully I don't stray that far into the multiple personality problem, but I can be kind of mercurial and maybe a little moody. I don't know, maybe a little moody. You're going off your diet for one day and only eating foods from restaurants. What do you eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner? I'm never dieting, but I do like this question because I often, when I'm spending the day and I get a little bored, I like to think about what I'm going to eat for my next meal. It's like a little fantasy game I play. So let's see, for breakfast, my favorite breakfast is probably shrimp and grits from Crook's Corner in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, which is where I grew up. It's amazing, their shrimp and grits. Lunch, there's a deli down the street in Brooklyn where I live now that has a really great Italian sub that I love, that has like a million types of meat and provolone cheese and hot peppers, and it's delicious. I try not to eat the whole thing because it's huge, but sometimes I end up doing it. And dinner, let's see, dinner would also probably be in North Carolina because I love Allen & Sons barbecue, and their barbecue sandwich with a side of hush puppies is absolutely unparalleled. Pulled pork, excellent. What is your ultimate vacation destination? I would say Spain. I went there in April for a while, and I lived there for a little while. I was in college for my junior year abroad, and I loved it, and I love it, and I want to go back a million times. So Spain, everywhere in Spain. Madrid is my favorite, but I love all the parts. I love all of Spain. I love southern Spain, the beaches. I love Barcelona. I love northern Spain. I love western Spain, Santiago de Compostela. People miss that, but it's a really great city. Anyway, Spain. Go there. The world has suffered from a one-day loss of power, no cell phone, computer lights, or anything else. What do you spend the day doing? Reading. That's easy, right? Reading. Definitely reading, hopefully in the park, maybe with a giant, giant blanket and some snacks and sun and sunblock and a little bit of shade. But that would be no problem for me. I would be really excited for a day like that, actually. And sometimes I do it even when the power's on. If you weren't an author, what job would you be doing? I'd be a magazine editor, which I guess is sort of cheating because it's still writing, but I still do that sometimes, and I fill in at magazines, and I still write for magazines, so that's what I'd be doing. I still love that. I still love telling real people's stories and doing nonfiction stuff. It's fun. A group of teens asked you the best way to become a published writer. How do you answer the question? I would say the best way to become a published writer is to write and to keep writing and to finish what you write. Finish entire stories so you can learn how to structure a story, beginning, middle, and end. Sometimes I think people start stories, but then they get stuck because they don't know where to go, and the hard part is kind of working through the stuck point, which we all get to. So the work is really pushing through that stuck point. And I would also say, do anything like yearbook, newspaper, literary journal, whatever's going on in your town or at your school that you can participate in that involves writing. It's really good to have someone else editing you, critiquing you, making you better. So that's my advice. Just do as much writing as you can in as many forms as you can. And I've only answered 11 questions, but this video is getting long. So I'm going to stop, and I hope that it's been semi-enjoyable and you aren't bored, and I'll stop now so that you won't get bored. And I hope everyone's having a fabulous August.